Yesterday, Logitech released their new headset, an upgraded version to be precise. These are the Logitech G Pro X2, and they are quite interesting in terms of new features and everything that it's packed with. So today we're going to break it down and take a look at them quite closely. Check out, of course, the microphone test and all the details that it has compared to the past G Pro X wireless headset, because well, you do need to know the difference between these and the past ones to be able to presume and to actually take into consideration the price difference, because the past model was 220 and this one are going at 250. So we have two color scheme going on. We have the white ones that I have right here, and you have the black ones as well. Now these ones actually do look quite nice. They do have some changes in the visual aspect as well. First of all is the logo side part that is right here on each ear cup. Then we have the Y holder, which basically can be done as such. So you can easily pull them out and either place them in a laptop bag or a backpack, or simply carry them as such, which is quite cool basically, because it gives you some sort of a flexibility, I would say. Now, when we're talking about flexibility, you have some flexibility here on top on the headband, which is always appreciated because it can flex and it could give you some additional movements. It's not that flexible in terms of comparing it to other headsets that have the same feature, but still we're talking about some sturdiness as well. So when you take into consideration the flexibility and the sturdiness at the same point, it's quite alright. Now, the ear cups and the headband have a memory foam, which is quite nice and gives us some comfort, I would say. So comfort and durability in the same sentence is basically what we are after. So 345 grams of weight, giving us some enjoyment while we're having a longer gaming session, or just regular talks, or whatever you intend to do with the headset. Now, let's go with the buttons on the headset. First of all, we have a power on, power off button, we have a volume wheel, you have a mic mute button, you have USB Type-C for charging, and you have a Bluetooth button, which is a new addition to the G Pro X line, and it is always welcome, I would say. On the other hand, you have aux connection and you get a cable for it as well, which is interesting because we have another feature that correlates with the aux cable, and this gives you an opportunity to connect it directly with it and basically turn it off, because there is no other way to use the aux cable, and this way saves the battery life. So when you plug in the aux cable, you first have to turn them off to use it as such. This gives you an opportunity to connect it to PS4, PS5, Xbox, and similar products like, I don't know, smartphones, tablets, and such. But that's quite alright. Then, since we're talking about now box content, you get the USB Type-C to USB Type-A for charging. You get this bag for carrying, and it's quite cool basically to have something in addition, since they are quite small when you take them into consideration as such. And microphone is detachable, so that kind of makes sense for this bag. In addition to everything, you get the USB dongle, which also states Pro X2. For instance, if you have loads of other connections, it's quite alright. Then you have the 3.5mm jack. Now, this gives you an opportunity to connect the aux cable to it and basically connect the headsets to the dongle and use the sound that comes not in-game, but some other notifications that come in, you could hear those through this. So it's quite cool. Unfortunately, in my box, I didn't get the velour ear cups for some strange reason, but you get two of those. So not two velour, but two different ear cups to change to your liking. So on the ear cups right from the box, you get the leatherette ones, and the velour should be included in the box, which apparently I don't have. But that's another story, which we won't go into this one for now. So what's it all about? I did mention that when you're using the aux cable, you have to turn off the headset. What happens in that scenario is that all functions here on the left ear cup are totally disabled. So you can't use the volume wheel, you can't use the microphone mute button. Everything is controlled through the device that is connected through the aux cable. And that kind of goes a bit strange, I would say, but also in another scenario quite logical, because most likely you're not getting enough power through the aux cable to actually do all of those stuff. The microphone has a flexible arm, let's put it that way, and you can adjust it to your liking, next to your mouth or further away, just to be able to adjust the sound that's going to your teammates. Now also, I do have to mention that these headsets support Sony Tempest 3D audio, Bluetooth, but not simultaneous Bluetooth. Now for some main features, we have LIGHTSPEED wireless. We already know how LIGHTSPEED wireless works and the quality of the connection to your PC, which is outstanding, of course, and you don't have to worry about latency. That's one thing that I always like to state about LIGHTSPEED connection. Then we have Graphene 50mm drivers. Now, what's it all about with the Graphene drivers? First of all, if you take out the driver from any other headset that have standard plastic, you'll notice when you touch the driver, it kind of makes some cracking sound that basically can break eventually. Or what it can do also is that standard plastic driver makes additional distortion. If it breaks or it doesn't break, it doesn't matter. At some point it does create additional distortion. The Graphene drivers, on the other hand, won't distort because of the lightness and the stiffness. So if you compare it to some other scenarios where manufacturers are looking for creating a material, or it already exists, but they want to use that material to improvise and give us some, I would say, lightweight but still stiffness, you get quality and durability, and this is where Logitech is actually improving in those drivers. So Graphene drivers, what they also do is give us consistency, and that's outstanding. Now we have the complete design is aluminum with plush velour and premium leather red, 20 Hz to 20 kHz when we're talking about the microphone. It also supports DTS Headphone X 2.0, and I would say the design is quite good all in all. I mean, it does resemble to the old G Pro X. The cable connecting each ear cup is in swirl, so it kind of makes doesn't get tangled up, I would say, which is quite cool. I mean, in one scenario you won't be able to break it out. You won't be getting in a situation where one ear cup doesn't work because the cable got disconnected or stuff like that. So basically, let's check this out. So I really want to see, there we go, it turned on automatically. Now it creates a sound. Let's see if I turn them on. Yeah, I turned them on accidentally, sorry. When you turn them on, they create some additional sound that gives you notification that they're turned on. And the cool thing is that the button right here, the switch that you use it to turn it on, actually lights up blue at the beginning for, I don't know, most likely Bluetooth connectivity or something similar to that. When we're talking about comfortability, I don't feel the ear cups that much, but when we're talking about the headband, since as I already stated a couple of times in my other videos, I do have a bigger head than average, so I can say that I feel the headband a bit pressing down, which I would say won't be a problem for 95% of you guys, but that's something else. Now, what we can do is test out the microphone, and basically you already have the support in Logitech G Hub, so this is quite interesting because we're gonna go through that as well. So currently what I'm doing is recording the audio directly through this microphone, and as you can see from the back we have the Logitech G Hub already turned on, and basically what happens is immediately when you connect the USB dongle, they are automatically
discovered inside the G Hub. The initial screen, what it indicates is Pro X2 LIGHTSPEED. You have the battery status, you have the way it's connected, so LIGHTSPEED or either Bluetooth. And since I'm connected to LIGHTSPEED, that's that. And also what we have is some edit. So most likely you can exactly edit the name of the device, and you have device settings. So power off, it kind of has a sleep mode. It goes directly to sleep mode after 30 minutes. You have hardware noise reduction, which reduces the effectiveness and reduces the overall sound quality of the microphone signal. So they actually recommend using only one noise reduction solution at a time. Let's go 36 hours remaining. This is also one thing that I have to mention. Comparing it to the past G Pro X, they increase the battery life. So these ones go up to 50 hours, which is completely insane. Even though I did have some headsets that go up to 200 hours. But comparing Logitech now, we have, I think it's 30 or 25 hours more of usage on these ones. Now, when you press the icon for the Pro X2 LIGHTSPEED, some introduction happens, but we're going to skip the intros. So for the headphones, you have acoustic and surround sound to adjust. You can enable a surround sound, which gives you a possibility to adjust the volume for each 7.1. And you can test the surround sound and do everything with that. You have multi-channel surround mode, so you have entertainment, gaming, and sports. And you have DTS Super Stereo mode, which is off, front, wide, or traditional. The acoustic one actually gives you a possibility to adjust the system volume, microphone, side tone, and you can adjust the presets to bass, boost, communication, flat, FPS, mobile, and everything else. And you can also browse more presets for either create custom ones or some additional stuff. Now, when we go to the microphone, now this is what it's where it gets interesting. You can tick the enable blue voice, which comparing it to current sound. So let me just do this. Comparing it to the standard sound of the microphone, it kind of gives you more clarity, I would say. But also you have the ability to adjust the input gain, master output level, voice equalizer, and equalizer for high pass or signal cleanup as well. Then what we have also is custom presets. You can adjust the blue voice presets as well, as you can see from. It's basically the same thing in the past, which we had presets for other headsets. And of course, you can adjust the effects, which give you some additional stuff like flanger and phaser, enable chorus, primary voice, secondary voice, ambience, and of course other presets to adjust through the software. Now I'm going to disable the blue voice and let's go to the sampler. So sampler is, yeah, it kind of uses the samples to create custom macros or assign them directly to a key, which gives you an option to adjust the custom samples, ambient sounds, and everything else. Basically, that's it when it comes to microphone.
You've heard the microphone sound before me, of course, and you already came to a conclusion. The Blue Voice, well, I didn't notice the difference, to be honest, but the microphone is good. That's important. It isn't good as in terms as I expected it to be, since we're talking about a much higher price range compared to the old G Pro X, but it is good, and that is how your teammates will hear you, which is quite alright, I would say. I did expect much more clarity and stuff like that. And if you remove the noise reduction, noise isolation from the outer sound, the keyboard clicks will definitely be heard. Not in terms that they will be annoying, but they will be heard more than with the noise reduction, which automatically reduces it. Now, when we're talking about the sound coming from the headsets, what I do is usually I check out with gaming, which directional sound is outstanding when we're talking about competitive and FPS games. When we're talking about the music, it doesn't go as loud as I expected. It is loud. It does have that nice deep bass, it has clarity in voice and similar stuff like that, but it doesn't go as loud as, I don't know, some other headsets that could go. So yeah, it's not that big of a difference, but you'll most likely notice it. Now, the other thing, what I do love, the bass and the clarity when we're talking about having deep bass and the voice at the same time in the music or whatever are you doing and listening through these is outstanding, and there is literally no distortion. This is what I mentioned, the graphene drivers, what they do and how they act, and comparing them to standard plastic drivers and what they can actually do is just remarkable in terms of, as I already stated, so you have bass going at the same time with the voice, there's complete clarity and you can distinct the difference between each of those, and there's no distortion, which is outstanding, and that's all that I can say. And finally, to conclude with something, Logitech did go advanced with these headsets, the G Pro X2, specifically in terms of the graphene drivers. Now, this is something I would say revolutionary or something like that, let's put it that way, because it really does bring clarity to the sound, regardless to what you're doing, listening or whatever. The microphone could be a bit better, I won't complain that much, it could be a bit better, and the loudness of the headset could be a bit higher. But I can't complain. I'm just giving you facts, what you could expect. The design is perfect, the final finish, everything, no flaws whatsoever, because I do need to give you that information as well. A cool thing about the aux cable, that you can use it without powering, well, basically you're blocked on powering them on, and there is no way to go to make a shortcut in terms of connecting the aux and then turning on the Bluetooth. You either have Bluetooth or you either have the aux cable, Type-C charging, and 50 hours of battery life is also quite appreciated. As already stated, some other headsets in the same price range go up to 200 hours, but I mean, I don't think they could have fit a larger battery inside. My thoughts, just my thoughts. And adding the graphene drivers for this price and similar stuff like that. But well, all in all, I would say I'm completely satisfied because the sound quality is great. It's really great. And that's all that I can say. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any additional questions, of course, because I can't summarize everything in this video, otherwise it would be more than half an hour. And hopefully it gives you some insights about the Logitech G Pro X2 LIGHTSPEED headset. The links are of course in the description if you decide to check them out and eventually buy them. So yeah, I'm going to leave that up to you. Comparing them to the old G Pro X, I would say this is definitely an advanced version. And if you're looking to grab one of these, I would suggest these ones, just in terms of the quality of the design and everything that I stated. I don't want to repeat myself a couple of times in the same video. So I'll leave the links in the description. Finally, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and notification bell, and hopefully guys, I'll see you quite shortly in a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.